I'm a surreal too.
Welcome to Amuso Real Talk. My name is Amuso Eunice. On the show today, we went all the way to Gomba. We went to one organization. It's called Self-Improved Actions Uganda. Under that organization, we are going to look at the section of boy-child walking the talk. Boy-child walking the talk is one segment that takes care of the boy children, empowers boy children, the men, the male figures. So we will meet one Mrs. Anna or Annette. She is the founder of this organization, and we'll have a conversation with her. She'll take us through the foundation and its programs and what really motivated her to start this kind of organization, and of which importance is it to her as a person and to the community. How far has it been of improvement and empowerment to the society that she lives in? Let us go to her and have an interview with her, have a one-on-one conversation with her, and she will take us through the details of the whole organization and what it's really all about. Welcome to the show, Madam Annette.
Thank you.
We would like you to introduce yourself to Amuso Real Talk viewers.
Thank you, Eunice. My name is Annette Tukahirwa Katongole. I am the founder of Self-Improved Actions Uganda. And in one of our programs, we have boy-child walking the talk. And it is one of the main reasons we started up this organization. And I'm happy to meet you.
Thank you. What inspired you to start? Because I understand before the self-improved actions, it was about boy-child walking the talk. What really triggered you or inspired you to start something that empowers the boy-child in the community?
As I was growing up, I grew up as an only girl in boys and my father. My mom was alive, but she was not around. So we mainly grew up with our dad and my brothers. And at the time, I was the eldest child and the only girl child at the time. I had two young brothers who come after me, plus my father, of course. And you see that they're all boys.
Yes.
So along the way, I did a lot of chores. I had a lot of responsibility as a girl child at home. And many times, I would always find myself as like all questions would always come back to me. Annette, where is this? Annette, why is this one not done? Annette, what are we going to eat? Annette, what are we going to wear? Annette was always Annette. And for the boys, their work was always to play around. Their work was always to come and ask, we want to eat. And of course, Dad will always refer them, go to Annette. She knows what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to be eating. So basically, I grew up as a responsible person, much as I was a very young girl. A very young girl, and with mainly boys. And then time went on. I always found myself around boys, around men. Even when I got married, my first child was a boy child. Even the second child was a boy child. And then I also got married to this man who was brought up like a boy child.
Oh.
Back at home, he was surrounded with sisters, so many sisters, and he was brought up in this way that he's fragile. He's a king. He's a man. And I actually have one scenario that which I think triggered me off. I remember I was very pregnant. And around that time, in Uganda, what they say, okusulirira, almost there. So one time, he would come. I dragged to get out of bed, and he comes and tells me, "Hey, Nyabo, are we not going to take tea?" Remember, I grew up with my dad. Sometimes would come in and help. So this guy of mine, for him, he's the kind, he's the man, he's the everything.
Yes.
So as a man,
He's asking the wife.
he's asking the wife, and everything is supposed to be
Done
the way
for
he was
him,
brought
yes.
up. It is supposed to be done for him. So surprisingly, I slowly got out of bed, went and put on the tea, and I was still sleepy if anything. So I had to go back and still like lie on the bed as I wait for the tea. So the tea started whatevering. It got ready and it almost poured. And it was like, hey, Nyabo, chai waika. I was like, okay. Inside me, I did not mention it at that time. But inside me, I was like, okay, so
The milk went down.
even if the milk goes down, this person cannot
Do anything.
do anything about it. So he wants everything done for him, even in my condition. So I was like, maybe something is wrong. And then one of my brothers at the time had also gotten someone, and she was also always telling me, but your brother is like this. Your brother wants me to do this and this. Your brother sometimes can't help. At that time, I did not understand it so well. But as time went on, when I started picturing some of these things, right away from back at home when I was young, when all the boys would come to me, we want this, we want this, we want this. So I also now started looking at this one, started picturing his background. I imagined should have been the same as my brother's. Well, I prepared the tea, we took it, but something kept on itching me. I was like, really? Should things be like this? At the end of the day, I asked him a question. I was like, you mean if you removed this tea and you served it and we took it, would there be any change on you? Like any boy who was brought up in the Buganda culture, his answer was, hey, what omugongo. That was a big mistake I made. I was not supposed to ask him any question to do with
The tea.
or
the scenario.
the scenario. It is my responsibility, regardless of what condition I am in. Okay, I said, okay, that is good. I have now gotten to understand. Me and him come from different cultures. I come from a different culture, and he also comes from a very different culture. But one, I learned something that we need to understand one another's upbringings.
Yes.
Two, as a lady, it is my responsibility to take care of men, regardless of what condition I am in.
As the society says.
Or as the society says. That is what I do. But still, as I went on, as things went on evolving, our journey now,
Yes.
as our journey went on, I realized that even out there in the society, it is like similar. Things are the same. We simply need to understand each other. So, now that triggered me. Remember, I had given birth to a firstborn who was a boy child, another one who was a boy child, and another one was on the way coming who was also a what?
A boy.
A boy.
Wow.
I was like, now these boys need to be what? Need to be helped.
Yes.
Need to understand that even a man can do what women do. That is where the whole source of thinking about the boy child started from.
Wow.
Then as we went on, I started working in the church. Then when I went into the church was this male-dominated institution. And these male priests, these male officers I was rubbing shoulders with were just like my brothers, were just like my husband. And I was like,
Society needs help.
Am I in a wrong place, or is something supposed to be done?
Yes.
So actually this is where boy child walking the talk started. When I entered the church, it completely opened the whole whole phase for me to start boy child empowerment.
Wow.
And I remember the first person I talked to was a priest. I was like, you know what? I am supposed to do something about the boy child. And then the priest was like, so what are you going to do about the boy child? Are you going to teach men how to wash plates? Are you going to teach men how to cook? What are you going to do with the boys? I was like, there is something wrong with the boy child. And of course, with all these stories we are seeing, so many women heading families.
Yes.
We are seeing so many children heading their own homes. Sometimes even the women are not there.
Yes.
When we very well know, especially like me who is under the church, who has grown around the church, we very well know that the head of the family should be what?
The man.
Should be the man. So now the boy child movement started.
Wow.
The boy child empowering boys started just like that.
Wow.
I was very lucky to have platforms of the church. I was very lucky to have the community. I am very good in the community. I always found myself speaking to so many men. Everywhere I am always around men.
Yes.
So it gave me enough time to study men. It gave me enough courage to be around men.
Yes.
It gave me all the, all the love, even to love men for who they are.
Yes.
And what they do, regardless whether it is good or what,
Or bad.
or bad.
Wow. Wow. And as you started your journey of having talks with men, what are some of the things that you discovered that perhaps are the causes of what the men have been going through, or how the men have been treating people or society the way they have been? There should be a cause of a certain character.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a cause. And
Let's
the
start
cause-
with the boy child before we go to the male.
Before we even go to the man,
Yes.
let us look at the boy child. When I was beginning, I told you my brothers
Yes.
always
You would
came
let
to
them
me.
play. You do the cooking, the
I
washing.
did the cooking, I did the washing, I did the cleaning, I did the feeding, everything.
So you yourself didn't empower them.
I did not empower them at the time because I
Yes,
did not know what it
exactly.
means. But as I have grown up, with all this that I have gone through, the boy child is neglected right from birth. The boy child has been brought up in a way, he knows it all.
Okay.
He can manage.
Okay.
He's powerful. He's energetic. He understands. He will maneuver. You'll find. These days, we even have this way of women. Me being in a rural setting, I'm seeing it at the rural perspective.
Yes.
When women are running away from their homes, she'll run away with the girls, and she will leave the boys behind. The Sengas will take care. The grandparents will take care. The community will take care because he's a what?
A boy.
We have taken it for granted that boys were wired in such a way that for them, they should handle every circumstance that comes along their way of growing up.
Which is wrong.
Which is very wrong. And at the end of the day, we cannot blame the boys. Even their fathers. Because you cannot give what you do not have.
Oh.
You cannot give what you did not get.
Wow.
Their fathers were also brought up in the same way.
Wow.
And the world has cried out so loudly for the girl child being very vulnerable. But the boy child is the most vulnerable human being. Because he has got a lot of responsibilities.
Yes.
As a head, the Bible tells it to us very clearly. A man is the head of the what?
The home.
Of the family. But we have not brought up our boys in that way to become heads of families. But we have given them this too much masculinity.
Wow.
That it overrides them, and they just come and dump it on the girl children who are well prepared.
Yes.
And they dump it on the girl children wrongly, in a very wrong way.
I hear you.
And the girls, of course, given the way they have been brought up, they don't expect a boy child to behave like the way they are behaving. For them, they expect that they are also supposed to be just the way they were brought up. It is different. And unfortunately, it is coming right from our own homes. As parents, I am a parent now. But I give a lot, even me, as somebody who is already empowering the boy child, sometimes
You find yourself
I find myself
giving more to the girl.
giving more attention to the what?
Oh.
To the girl. Should I say it is natural? No, we simply need to do something. We simply need to do something. We simply need to open our eyes to this boy child and help him right from the grassroots.
Amen.
Right from home, right from school. As he starts school, let the teachers help him. Do you remember that time when we were in primary school and maybe secondary school, that time of the senior woman teacher?
Yes.
When the time for senior woman teacher always came, they were like, boys go out, girls remain. Or boys go and play, girls go to the other room. And the very inquisitive boys would always go into the windows and do what?
And listen.
And listen or peep. And some senior woman teachers would shove them off. Go away, don't listen to what we are
discussing.
But the boy child needs to listen to what the senior woman teacher says, or what the senior man teacher does. What?
Do they even have senior men teachers?
That is also another challenge. Do we have the senior men teachers in schools? Do we have those people who have that urge, that empathy, that pain of thinking about the boy child and what he will become tomorrow, before we start blaming the whole world?
Yes.
Before we start blaming the men, they have lost their responsibilities. Before we start blaming the men, they have decided to go for drugs. Before we start blaming the men, they have become nuisances in the society. Before we, as empowered women, what have we done as parents right away from
the beginning? Wow. That goes to the parents out there. So as we go along, the boy child, the young one, how have you seen in the community the men that you're trying to empower? What are these things? How have they been affected now as they are adults now and men with families? I believe that has brought different challenges to them and perhaps caused some family dysfunctioning somehow, somewhere. So how have you seen those things affecting them as grown-up men?
It's massive.
Tell us about it.
It's very massive. It's so painful. It's very, very, very painful. How has it affected the man of today? I think that is the question you want to ask. What has neglecting the boy child from childhood done to the man today? We have associations like single motherhood. Today it's a lifestyle. It is, it's a way of...
It's like a trend,
It's a trend. I think that's the right word. It's a trend for a woman to stand up. I am a single mother, very proudly. Very, very eloquently. I am a single mother. Because ladies today, they are better off without what? Without men. That is their saying. Other than going in with a man who cannot carry on his responsibilities. Other than going in with a man who cannot fulfill his duties as expected of him. Today, we have seen women getting salaries almost 3 times higher than the men. Today, we have seen women bring up mansions where a man does not have a single what? a single coin. At the end of the day, what has it done to the man? It has lowered his self-esteem,
Yes.
even as a man. It has lowered, he has become complex. The man has become complex. He has this kind of inferiority complex is the word I was looking for. The man has become inferior to each and everybody, even his own children. We have seen men who cannot say a word in front of their children and it is given value. That is how bad it is. We have seen men who sleep in chairs in the sitting room.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. We have seen men who go and cry from somewhere else. And they cry physically. And they are crying, but nobody is listening.
So, are you trying to tell me that men, as superior as they are being violated? Is that what you're trying to say by women?
We are seeing the highest level of domestic violence for men, but the world is not seeing it. Men are battered, physically battered by women, psychologically battered by women, even environmentally. The environment itself is beating them up. Even the institutions themselves are also beating up men. Today you will not go to the police and you find a case of a man who was brave enough to go and report to the police and say, my wife beats me.
No one will believe him.
Nobody will believe him. That is the inferiority complex I was talking about.
I hear you.
I have interacted with so many police officers very many times, but they always say, for us, the community is saying we side with women, but the men do not come to report their cases. We don't know if they are violated or not. But the women, every time the woman has a problem, she will run where? She will run to the police. And automatically the police will listen to the person that has brought the case.
So why do you think the men are scared to report this violation to the police? Because if they are violated and they are quiet about it, don't you think it's damaging mentally and it can cause perhaps running into drugs for refugee or committing suicide, if I may say?
It's automatically damaging. Men are dying at a very high rate, and we are relating their deaths to very funny things. Things like poison, things like drug abuse, things like carelessness, things like witchcraft. But the root cause of men's death, especially today, is psychological torture.
Tell me about it.
Is lack of mentorship as boy children. Is lack of role models as they grow up. That is what is causing their death so early. They end up going where they will find solace. They end up going where they will find peace. And in so doing, violence. The other woman will always come and say, you, madam, you're taking away my husband. At the end of the day, he's in between now. The tango. The stress comes in. Diseases start coming up. He's isolated. Depression. Of course, the end result is what?
Death.
Is death. Men are dying not because they're supposed to die now. They are dying because there is a root cause right from where?
From the beginning.
Right from childhood. Girls today have got this saying, men are scarce. Men are not there. We are not seeing men. We are only seeing trousers and shirts moving. But if I'm to tell you, I know where men are. You go to Chitalia, you go to Luzira, you go to all those prisons in Uganda, you go to the newest bars around town, you go to, all those happening places in
Rehabilitation
town.
centers.
You go to the rehabilitation centers, you go to those, to mental health homes. That is where you're going to find men.
Wasted.
Sick. Nobody to take care of. Because he was not helped when he was
young.
Because he had no role model to look up to.
And perhaps no one to listen.
And even if there was anybody who
No
would
one
even
would
listen
listen
to him. I talked about the institutions beating them. Institutions have also beaten our boys and men. These marks they used to give the girl child of what? She has got 16 points, and there was that 1 mark point something that was coming from the government. Automatically the girl child would get it for her to qualify to go to where? To university. And the boy child who is missing just 0.5 will be denied entry. That is how far it has come. That is an institution now. That is now institutionalized.
Exactly. That's government.
That is government.
True.
We have seen adverts, job adverts, saying that if you are they advertise for a job and they say that if you are a lady, it is an added advantage for you to qualify for that job. You come as competitors, boys and girls, and the girl will be favored than the what?
The boy.
Where is that one taking us? It is going to kill our what?
Our boys.
Our boy children.
Wow. So what has your foundation or your organization, what are some of the things that you are trying to do to make sure that you improve a few things in the society?
Improving
the boy child, the men.
Improving the boy child may be an understatement, but we can say helping.
Okay.
What have we done to
help? Yes.
We have advocated. We have talked about this problem as loud as we can.
Wow.
We have helped boys come together in groups. We have given them life skills.
Okay.
We have given them vocational skills. We have also identified role model fathers that they can look up to. At the moment, for us, we are still very small.
Okay.
Our voice is still very what? Very small. But at least in the community where we are, we have organized groups. We have groups like Boys to Men Development Group. That is a men's group. These are role model fathers who meet every twice a month, and they save. They can also borrow, and then they share their challenges. And then we also have groups of boys. These groups of boys, keeping them together is not easy, but at least we have activities that keep them together.
Okay.
We have activities like rabbit rearing. We have activities like mushroom growing. We have activities like vegetable growing. We have activities like charcoal briquette making. We have activities like environmental protection. Boys, we have trained them in making nursery beds.
Okay.
In a way of protecting the environment.
Okay.
And at the same time, these skills we give them are manufacturing. They help them to get an income at the end of the day. These activities keep them together. They have reason to always come back and meet. We have gone as far as penetrating into schools.
Oh, wow.
we have boy child clubs in the schools. Among these clubs, we have like the writers club, but for boy children.
Okay.
We have the gentleman club, like but for only boy children.
Okay.
We have several group. We have even actually in this area we have a teachers college. When we go to that college, we make sure we help the teachers to understand the problem of the boy child, such that when they go out there into their respective schools, because they scatter after school, and for them they are there for a short time.
Yes.
But when they scatter, at least it is one of the key points the college always emphasizes, for them to always talk about the boy child. Then we have gone into churches. We have used the church practically preaching the gospel of the boy child.
Wow.
Of how the boy, relating the boy child to men in the Bible.
Yes. Such
that we help this boy child who is growing up to become a different man tomorrow. Other activities, we have at least a few activities that help these boys to come together and be groomed. We identify these role model fathers from different areas to come and talk to these boys.
So what about these fathers that were I would say the fathers who were a problem to the families? How have you tried to rejuvenate them?
For the fathers, we have partnered with different organizations that at least have got the same programs of, let's say, male engagement. For example, we work with family planning, Uganda. They have a component in male engagement, specifically for male engagement. And we have encouraged men to be closer to their women. Now we are coming to health. Have you ever noticed that every time you're taking your child for antenatal and you are a couple, your services are very faster than the other one that went alone?
Wow. Okay.
These are some of the things. Some of these organizations that we partner with help us with tools. We also have got our own tools, but they also bring in their own tools that help us to intensify the message
and unite the families.
And we are seeing some families change.
Wow.
They may not be very many, but at least there are some families that are giving testimonies. There are some women that are now giving testimonies. My husband changed every time he started going into that boy child program. And at first we used not to understand, but at least now we are seeing
a change.
We are seeing a change. We have worked with the church. It is also another partner, a big time partner, because it has got the biggest platform. We have used departments like Mothers Union. We have used departments like Fathers Union. In the Mothers Union section, mothers are drivers of everything.
Of the home.
They have helped. In the Mothers Union, we have passed on those messages, especially when it comes on these big days of Mothers Union, where we are seeing now these couples. That marriage enrichment.
Yes.
We use such platforms for us to pass our message. To specifically talk about the boy child.
For mothers not to neglect these boys.
Mothers not to neglect these boys. Even when the marriage has failed, run away with the boy also.
Yes.
Don't leave the boy behind, but you also drag him along with you.
You're right.
If it is true that it is the animal you're running away from, why do you leave some
this
of
one
to be eaten
you take
by this
only
one?
the girl.
And you take only the girl. Don't leave this boy behind.
True.
Then we have worked with organizations like Compassion International. Compassion International also looks at the child mainly.
Yes.
But we have also penetrated into compassion, and we have made sure that we identify the boy child section, and it has been embraced, and something good is taking place.
And slowly it will go
And
there.
slowly, it is still small,
But it will grow.
but we hope it will grow big.
Yes.
Because this problem is not only here in Gombe.
Yes.
This problem is everywhere.
Exactly.
This problem is not only in the Anglican Church. This problem is not only in the Catholic Church. This problem is everywhere.
Yes.
Be it a Muslim, be it
Anybody.
anybody.
Everywhere.
As long as you're a man and a woman, it is affecting us.
Yes.
And for this world to settle,
Mm.
for the problems that we are facing socially, mainly socially,
Yes.
this man here,
Where do you see this in the next years? Do you see the voice being heard? Do you see it going globally, not just in Gomba, but escalating?
I am looking at it going as far as I cannot
Imagine.
imagine. I am looking at this program touching everybody. For information, we already have a forum for boys to men. We have a prayer breakfast every Saturday to pray for the father and the son.
Wow.
Every Saturday, we pray for the father and the son. For the father to groom his son so well, and for the son to understand his father so that he turns out into a responsible man.
And
Tomorrow.
Yes. So where do you see this in the next 5 years?
Where do I see this in the next 5 years? I'm looking at a center, a big center for men who can come and share
Without fear?
without fear, who can come and cry, who can come and tell what they are feeling plainly. Like I said, men are brought up in such a way that they are not even supposed to talk about their feelings for everybody to hear.
You know?
They are not supposed to talk about what they fear in them. Have you ever realized that men die with their fear?
I hear you.
A man will fear something and he will not show you that he's honestly in fear. Because he's a man. Because he was trained to be a man.
Stereotyped.
It is stereotyped in him that omusajja takaba.
Men don't cry.
Men don't cry. I am looking at a center where men can come and cry like babies.
Pour themselves out.
Pour each and everything out. Feel free to come and say, this woman of mine that I married in front of so many people has slapped me in the face. She beats me every other night. It's okay.
So the solution can be found.
So that a solution can be found.
What do you have for the men out there who are going through violation by their women? That because I'm a man, the society has stereotyped me, I cannot speak, I cannot say anything, I cannot cry, and they are dying inside. Have a word for the man before we come to the boy.
You man who is out there, and you cannot bravely come out and say that Annette beats me in the house. It's okay to cry. You come out, say it out. The world is there, ready to listen to you. There are people who are there to listen to you, to help you, to hold you. You have a shoulder to cry on. You were not brought up not to cry. It's okay, you can come and cry. It's okay, the world will always listen to you. I am calling upon you, please, don't die in agony there. Don't die because you were brought up that men don't cry. Don't die because your mother told you a man does not cry. Don't die because your father told you those are women things.
Speak.
Speak out. Say it out. There is someone out there ready to listen to you.
Indeed.
And ready to cry with you. And ready to hug you. and console you.
True. And for our boy children, you know, I will just tip it slowly. For the boy children, especially going through step parenting. Have you received such cases of maltreatment by step parents? And they cannot speak because they are afraid. If I will speak and perhaps Madame Annette will go and talk to my mom, where will I sleep tomorrow? Where will I eat? So what do you have to say to the children who go through maltreatment, the boy child? What do you tell them? Or do you have them in society? Do you receive such cases?
In society they are there, and the cases are very there. But what I have to say to these boy children, there is a voice for the boy child somewhere.
Yes.
There is someone ready to listen to you. And step parenting, this one cannot only be for the boy child. It is also for the girl child.
Yeah.
But sometimes there is a way it affects the boy child so hard than the what? Than the girl. How does it affect the boy child? The boy child, because of the way he's brought up, he's not supposed to talk. He's suppressed so hard, and this erupts out of him when he marries, when he becomes a father. This is when it starts now. That other suppression is when it starts coming out of him after he has now a family. And sometimes he transfers it to his wife.
Yes. Domestic violence comes in.
And this is why the domestic violence does what? Comes in. So my cry is, boy children out there, when you find yourself in such a scenario, please don't keep quiet. Come out, run to any nearby person. Confide in somebody. Something will be done.
Have a word for the parents. Tell the parents to learn to listen to these children. Because that's very important also.
Parents, now that takes me along, it takes you along, it takes everybody around here. We all fall in the same what? In the same basket. Yes. If you're not a parent now, you'll be a parent tomorrow.
Yes.
Let us have quality time with our children. And let us value what our children say to us. Because when we give them that quality time, when we value what they tell us, our efforts are not in vain.
Wow. True. True.
Our efforts are not what?
In vain.
Are not in vain. Because it is so bad. You have struggled with this child from day one to day last, and then at the end of the day, you wake up to a call, go to the mortuary, your son, your daughter drank too much and was knocked by a car.
Or your daughter was beaten by someone.
Your daughter had eloped with somebody. She was trying to abort. It went wrong, and she's gone.
Your son was caught raping someone.
Your son was found in a concubine's house, who is 3 times older than him.
Prison.
He's in prison.
I hear you, Mama. So let's give time.
Let us give time, quality time. The word is quality. Quality time to our children. Let us underline the word quality.
Quality.
We are too busy to have quality time for our children. Let us find quality time for our children. Maybe things will be different. Maybe we shall have better homes. We shall have better husbands.
Yes.
We shall have better churches. We shall have very brilliant
Leaders
students,
tomorrow.
leaders, everything.
Yes. Wow. That is very good. It's very touching and it's very empowering. So, I notice you have partners. So we'll have a discussion with a few of them.
Yeah, today we have partners like Godifa, that is Gomba District Farmers Association. In one of our core programs, we have got environment and agriculture. And Godifa deals with environment and agriculture. So we automatically find ourselves partnering
With
together.
them, yes.
They help us to implement some of the work in what? In environment and in agriculture. So we also have got Pathfinder like we had seen Marion. She deals with family planning in that component of what? Of Emanzi. And mainly that is male engagement. We have partners like Compassion International and the church, of course, who is the host here, who have given us this beautiful
And
compound where we are
We are
seated.
so humbled.
Yes.
Yes.
So maybe you'd like to speak to some of our partners?
Yes, we will. So we would like to say, before we round up with you, I would like you to have a word to the world outside. I want you to categorize it, like for the parents once again, and then for the children once again, speak to them, tell them to speak out, and then for the husbands, the fathers, or the youths who are soon to be fathers. Yeah.
I'll start with the young men that are soon becoming fathers. The young men. The young men are the most challenged, especially today. Young men today don't know if they are supposed to marry or not to marry.
Okay.
Our young men today are confused with what is taking place in the world. They don't know whether they're supposed to marry a man or they are supposed to marry
A woman.
a woman. That is also another challenge.
Yes.
But my message for these young men today, find a role model. Find a role model that you see yourself into, that good role model you would like to identify yourself with. He will help you. That's the only message I would have for the young men. Let them find role models. They are there.
Yes.
All is not lost.
Gone, yes.
They are there. They are very good men. They are very good fathers. They are very good brothers. They are very good families you can go to and you say, I wish I would stay here. For the boy children, find time, feel free to speak to your parents.
Yes.
Stay close to your parents. Don't run away from your parents. That father of yours has a lot to tell you if you also engage him. So as young children, let us also learn how to come closer to
Our
our
parents.
parents. And then for the parents, please don't shove your children away from you. Stop being too busy on WhatsApp. Stop being too busy on the laptops. Stop being too busy in your businesses and you forget your children. Whoever is keeping you busy is these children. Without these children, you can sleep forever because you have nothing to worry about. So that is why we become busy. For our what?
Children.
For our children. So let us balance our work and our
families.
families. Have you ever known that at least 5% of men, there are a 5% of men who give birth and are not aware that they fathered a child somewhere.
Wow.
We have 40% of fathers who give birth to children and intentionally abandon
Them.
They don't want to know. We have another 40% of fathers. For them, their role is well fulfilled. They provide education, health, clothing, all the basics are well provided, but they don't connect
Yes.
emotionally. They don't have that bond. So parents, please, let us cut down those statistics. Let us have time for our children.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Annette.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure, and it's really so encouraging, motivating, and inspiring. Just like we always say, we inspire you at the comfort of your phone. So we are so honored and we are humbled, and I believe that you have learned something. So we'll have a discussion with one of the partners.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam.
You're welcome.
I'm honored.
I'm honored.